These are some things I'm not strict about as a mom. Number one, we do not plan our day around his naps. 90% of the time we're home for his naps, so all is well. But if we want to go do something, if we have plans, he is just going to nap wherever we're at. We also don't plan our day around being home for his lunchtime. He eats lunch at around the same time every day, but if we know we're going to be going out to eat, then he'll just eat lunch wherever we're at. Or if we know we're going out and we're not going to be going out to lunch, we just bring his lunch and feed him on the go wherever we're at. Also, just to give some context, my son is 15 months old. This one I feel like is controversial, but my son watches TV sometimes. I'm not terrified of screen time. However, in the beginning I was, and I made sure that he got like pretty much no screen time. But I'm not gonna make myself miserable trying to prevent him from watching TV or like seeing a screen or using it when it's truly going to like help the situation. Like if we're on a long road trip, he's gonna get some screen time. Or especially in educational videos. This one is I'm not constantly entertaining him, and I don't think that he needs to constantly be entertained everywhere we go with everything that we're doing. I think it's okay to be bored sometimes and use your creativity. If you're bored, that means you're boring, so use your imagination. Boredom is okay, and it's a part of life. Next, I don't police his grandparents when they're with him or watching him. Of course, we have boundaries, but I feel like our boundaries aren't crazy, and I really love the idea of him developing a relationship with his grandparents that is unique to them. So if he loves going to Nick's parents' house because they watch movies with him and they do that kind of thing with him, then I want him to like have that, if that makes sense. I don't want to be like, absolutely no movies, no screen time, you can't do this, you can't feed him this. Like, I don't want that. Obviously, with healthy boundaries, they do respect whatever we tell them, especially when he was a newborn, for instance. Absolutely no kissing on the mouth, still no kissing on the mouth. Certain things like that, they're always respectful of. Next one is my son's not always going to be wearing shoes when we leave the house. He's not even fully walking yet. And for instance, if he was, we're going to the grocery store, he's going to be sitting inside the cart the whole time. So I don't feel the need to like restrict his little toes from moving when he's fully walking and he's going to be put on the floor walking. He's going to be wearing shoes 24/7. Another one is I let our family and friends hold him, and I did from a very young age. I was never really too strict about that. Of course, like if he's crying and sobbing his eyes out, I'm going to want him and I'm gonna want them to give him back to me, but I've never really been like, no, you can't hold my baby. I don't want you holding my baby. If you want to hold him, if you want to play with him, I'm completely okay with that. It kind of goes back to not policing the relationships in his life that are going to be developing. I want people to be able to bond with him that are in our lives that we love so much. I only say that because I know a lot of moms, which no shame to them, but I know a lot of moms are very particular and protective of other people holding their kid, and yeah, that's just not something I've ever really cared about. Obviously, when he was a newborn, all of these things are a little bit different because I didn't want him to get sick, and I wanted to make sure that people were extra careful, but for the most part, I don't care. Another one I could think of is I let him try our desserts when he's eating them. When we're eating them, he like shows that he wants a bite of it, and obviously it's safe for him to eat. He can have a bite of it or two. I'm not super strict about sugar. This is not an everyday thing, but if I'm eating ice cream or cheesecake or something at a restaurant and he wants a bite, I'm gonna let him try some cheesecake and ice cream. I'm also not super strict about him always having a super balanced meal. For the most part, he eats all whole foods, home cooked meals, but if there's a night that he's just eating pasta for dinner, then he's just eating pasta for dinner. Let me know some of the things that you guys are not strict about as parents, and also if you want to know the things I am strict about, because I feel like I am pretty strict about certain things, let me know and I can make a part 2 to this. But that's just everything I could think of off the top of my head. I'm really interested to know what things you guys don't care about as moms, so make sure to let me know.